Hello ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back to Planet Crafters with myself, Oswald Lyric Vivida. This is episode 16, Base Prep Part 2. So I'm hoping that you're going to be around the same sort of area I am, where we've been stockpiling on all our resources. I've now got 10 volts of everything apart from iron, which I have 40 volts of. We're using the help of your ore extractors, and also to speed the cycle up a bit, I have gone out and hunted for pure iron in various areas just to bring that back and fill an entire vault up, just to save a bit of time while we're waiting for the drills to fill up. I thought, well, you know, rather than sitting around for 10 minutes waiting for the ore extractors to fill up on resources, I may as well go out and basically hunt for resources that I need. So the next step is we've already put down our algae T1s. We can get rid of them now. This area is now filling up with water, and we really need to just push the boat out a bit more now. So the idea in mind on that is we're going to use 2 rockets. So what we want on this is we need 2 rockets, and then on top of that we're going to need super alloy, 3 of each for both rockets, and then unfortunately we are going to need to use silicon, which is not really a big deal, and we're also going to need cobalt. But rather than taking them from the vaults that we've already got, we're going to come over here and take out any cobalt and silicon. Wrong one. There we go, got 3 of each. And what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at our numbers. Okay. So what we want to do, we want to fly over to our rocket launch pad, and we're going to send 1 of each rocket. Now the problem being with that is that we're going to get 8 asteroids that hit the planet that will give us 40 resources altogether, or up to 40 resources. And that's 1 rocket will give you iridium, the other one will give you uranium. So what we want to do is we want to send 1 rocket at a time. So we're going to send out the asteroid attraction rocket, and the asteroid attraction rocket attracts uranium asteroids, gives a global heat generation bonus of 1000%. So we're going to select that rocket, push the button, and then all we're going to do is we're going to sit up here and we're just going to wait, and we're going to see where these asteroids hit, and just take a little note of roughly where in the planet they're going to hit, because otherwise we're not going to find where they are. So okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right, so we know where they are, and we've got a rough idea of where those resources are going to be, so we can just go around, collect those resources. We want to send 1 rocket up at a time, otherwise we're going to overwhelm ourselves on the asteroid rockets that land. So all you're doing is you're looking around for things like this, and then we're just going to pick all that up and then press on. Now it is a bit of a pain sometimes, so just bear that in mind. And if you haven't got a rocket pack yet, I would strongly recommend that you craft them. It will be slightly easier to move around and collect all your uranium. Some of it we're going to have to come back and find later when the rocks clear out. Hence the reason I said about the fact that, you know, and you'll notice that as soon as you send this rocket, our 350 is now going to times by 10, so we're going to have a lot more. Oh yeah, there's another rocket over here, I forgot about that. So you're going to try and take them in order, because it's just going to be slightly easier. I haven't, unfortunately. Should have done, really. Get trapped in bloody rock. And there's the last piece. And as you can see, we've got lots of uranium. On these, we're just going to turn them into rods, why not? So, might as well. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put all of this in here, just so we can catch the rest of our uranium. So we've got 2 that landed over there, 1 that landed over there, and 1 that landed in the water. So unfortunately that does mean we're going to have to go for a swim. So let's drop down into the water and have a look around. I do believe it was over here somewhere. There we go. And then we can come out and then we can fly up to the other 2 areas. There's one over here. And we are looking at around about 40. Whether we actually get 40 out of it's a different matter. It'll all be dependent on how much we can actually find. I mean, we've got 2 from that last one, but that's because like there's too many damn rocks in the way. And the last 2 are up here somewhere. Problem being is it's now too damn dark to find anything. And that one we're not going to find anything in because it's just blocked. And then what we're going to do, just before we do anything else, we're going to go around to the other crash sites just to quickly double check that we've collected the rest of it, because some of the rocks by now should have gone, so with a bit of luck we can actually find the rest of it, especially some of the bigger stones or bigger rocks would have hopefully disappeared, so we can hopefully get underneath. What a pain. Not a major big issue. We'll just wait a little while. This now means our heat production has gone to 3,522, our oxygen's at 752, our pressure is at 355, we're now at 20 MTR, so I believe we're doing pretty good. So, and And this means now that we're going to be able to make more power supplies further down the line. So all we'll do, we'll just dump this uranium in there and I'm done with it. And now we can just venture out the door and hopefully find the rest of the uranium. And as you can see, most of it's all cleared up now. So now hopefully when we go to the other areas, we will be able to find the rest of all of our stuff. And it was particularly this area up here. I'm hoping that it's not just because of the asteroid that's just come down. Nope, we've still got our lovely uranium to collect. Well done. Brilliant. So I do believe that's probably going to be, I know there's still more over there. Let's go collect it. And then what we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing as what we did with this one, with the other asteroid. Because we've collected all the stuff from the water, so we should be alright. We're going to get rid of our algae, because we've now got algae T2, so we can plant some of those instead. But I'm going to actually wait to get rid of those, because I now want to boost the oxygen supply to match with the rest of it. So and I'm just proving that you don't have to send so many rockets to actually make a difference. So one rocket of each is actually enough if you play the game properly. And by all means, if you want to send lots and lots of rockets all at the same time, be my guest. I just don't see the point. And this is one way you can really like make an improvement on your overall take. Unfortunately, so we're going to now select the magnetic field protection rocket. Attracts iridium asteroids, gives the global generation a bonus by protecting the magnet field, so that increases pressure. So we're just going to send that rocket into space. Go on, take off. That's it. You headed in the wrong direction. And again, we're just going to look out for the crash sites. That's one. 2. Water. Okay, nowhere near us. So that'll be in the iridium mine. Cool. That's all of them. So I've noticed 3 in the water, 1 in iridium. Oh look, more resources. Not that we need them, but. And this is going to be basically exactly the same as what we had before, just iridium. And there was 2 down here. So let's just try and find the rest of them. There was another one. Might might be on the opposite side, and yeah, it's on the opposite side. To be fair, I'm not really bothered about the iridium, because as much as I love iridium, I've got drills for iridium, so I've got plenty of it in stock, so I'm not that overly bothered on iridium. But it still comes in handy to have. Oh, maybe not. Like I said, I'm not overly bothered on the iridium. Uranium is something that we need a little bit more of, but I wouldn't recommend sending loads of rockets for uranium. There's just not a lot of point. I mean, you can do if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it. Overdoing it on rockets is only going to really mess around with the numbers that you're going to produce, to the point where you're going to be producing more of one thing than the other, and you don't really need to over push it on uranium. We're going to get T2 drills very soon anyway, so it's not going to be a big deal, and I've shown you that, you know, power is very good, so sending the one rocket will be enough. I mean, I've generated all my power off the grid that I've got at the moment. I've only got 3 generators, so yeah, fair enough, I'm probably going to need to put one more down, but my point is that there we have it. What? Okay. Maybe it's only 2. My bad. Oh yeah, of course it is. Right, so the next thing, we're going to need to now match the oxygen supply to the iridium. Now, this is going to be fundamentally the pain in the backside, royal backside this is going to be. So I need fertilizer to do the flower spreaders, which will give us more oxygen supply. But the problem being is I'm going to need fertilizer for them. So that means I'm now going to have to craft more fertilizer in order to basically produce the number that I want. And also I'm probably going to need 23. So we're 23, I'm going to need another generator. So I'm going to have to put up another generator at least. So I'm going to need sulfur, 2 of, 1 of that, 3 rods. In fact, I might as well put 2 generators up at the same time. It gets it done then. And we'll grab those 2 super alloy, considering I thought I was under the impression I was going to lose all 3 of them anyway. Makes a lot of sense. So we'll have 2 of those. And then we'll grab 6 water bottles on top. And then I do believe I've run out of grid spaces, so I'm going to have to grab some iron. I need 8 iron. Yep, that'll do. And all we'll do, we'll just build the iron platform first for the power. And then just shove another power plant on top of it, like so. We'll do the same thing on this end, just to extend it. So now we've got plenty of power. 721. Right, that being said, well, now we want to get the flower spreaders. So I've already got so we're going to need 12 bottles of water. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go for 2 of those. And what we're going to do, we're also going to go get the golden seeds, because for these ones we can put golden seeds in them. So if we grab 4 of those, we'll just grab 4 of those, and then what we'll do, just down here, these in. We'll keep the old ones for now. It all goes towards oxygen supply. And there you have it, 3,843. And that's just off 4. So if we take these old ones away, we're going to drop it down by 86, which wouldn't really be a massive problem. So I'm going to take these ones away because they're only 86. And they're crap anyway. And that's dropped us down to roughly where we should be anyway, so it don't really matter. Right, so let's put the water bottles away. We'll put the seeds away. Don't really need the iron. Okay. There we go. So now all it is just waiting for that to happen. If in the meantime what we'll do is we'll just conclude the episode to the point of we've done the rockets, and if need be we can come underneath here and collect some algae so that we can replace our lost fertilizer packets. And do believe we've got enough. And what we want to do with that is we want to try and craft as much fertiliser to replace it. I believe it's 2 fertiliser per biodome. So this is what we're looking to upgrade now. Once that upgrade's come down, we can then put biodomes in our base when we make the construction of it all. It's not bad that we're actually on 8.52 UK. We're coming up to that point now where all the little locations are going to be unlocked, especially the osmium mines. The osmium mines now should be fully open, so we'll be able to explore them later and gather more resources from them. So when we come to setting up drills T2, rather than just not having anything, we're going to be setting up osmium first. It just makes more sense. Then we can go for things like uranium and blah 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 blah. So our first protocol is trying to get this open, so we need heat production for that, and obviously for now we've got quite a fair bit of heat being produced. So we're on 51%, so all it is now is literally just waiting for that to kick over, and once it does, we can pretty much just crack on. So I'm going to highlight this. So we need 4 of those, so let's grab 4 sulfur. Rather than closing that down, I'm just going to keep it open. And I need eggplants to replace it with. I do believe I'm going to struggle for the eggplant, so I'm only going to be able to do 3 for now. It's a bit of a pain. Never mind. But we've got plenty of time to make sure that we can get the rest of it, so it's not a major big deal. If I just keep all that in this locker for now, I'm just going to have to wait for, obviously, being able to make 1 more of those while waiting for everything else to kick in, which is not a major. I'm not really that bothered on it, but yeah, the only thing I was majorly bothered on is obviously having enough iron to produce the base. That number's now kicking over rather nicely, so it won't be long before we get to the point where we can actually build our base. I did say at this point we'll be pushing numbers quite high. The plan of action is to get to 80, and once we get to 80 MTI, we're going to close terraforming down until we built the whole base. It's not a long-winded process, but it's going to be done over a couple of episodes because it is a rather big base. But it's there designed specifically to be your end game base. Everything's done specifically inside of it, so you know, it's a good little base design, which I like. Of course I do, because it's my design, but you know, it's a good base. So, and I genuinely believe that showing you that base and you seeing it, and I'm going to be making some adaptations to it as well, considering we've got the new interior staircase coming, and that's why I want to wait for the 80 MTI, just specifically for that, as well as the foundation slopes, which I really do generally need to build my base with. So and a part of it's going to be using the interior staircases, so yeah, it's going to look pretty damn awesome by the time I'm done with it. So yeah, looking forward to that bit, I will say. So it's just a case of waiting. There's not a lot of waiting to do. It's probably going to be about 10 minutes or so before I get to the point where I can open it. I'm not going to push the numbers any higher than what they are at the moment. I just don't see the point. It will tick over when it ticks over. And then once I have built my base, it's a case of venturing out the door and doing a lot of other stuff. So I've got a few areas that I'm going to go to first, explore those, and with setting up like T2 drills because they're coming down soon, like T2 ore extractors at 364.5 MPa, which is pressure. At the moment we're only on 8, but that's not a big deal. We'll probably get them for around about 200 MTI, so hopefully that's when, once the base is built, we'll push the numbers into around about 20,000. So these numbers on the board right now will be roughly about 20,000. Just simply put, because by the time we get the biodomes in, our oxygen supply is going to be roughly about 12,000. So that's just on the biodomes alone. So yeah, we'll have to really push everything else to match it. And we've had to use one rocket so far to match that. So yeah. I don't intend on sending an oxygen rocket. We don't really need it. A plant rocket, yes. An oxygen rocket, you just really don't need to send up. I just don't see the point of sending those because oxygen supply is actually quite good. Anyway, I'm going to dash off and wait for it to tick over. Once it does, happy days. I mean 30 MTI. We're on 18 just a minute ago when I first started the video. So, and I'm not being funny, but I was on 8 MTI last night while hunting for all my resources. I came on this morning at 12 MTI and got to 18, and I've been working on it since about 9 o'clock this morning. So that's a massive improvement on timing, really. But I'll see you in the next video when we come back and build our base. I'm gonna wait until I hit 60 first before I start even thinking about I can start building the framework at 50, but I'm really looking at getting the rest of the framework sorted for it at 60 so I can build all the ramps and stuff for the car or the rover, and then once that's done then we're sorted. So I shall see you in the next. Ciao guys.